Buffs Nation, what's going on? I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. But man, what a weekend! What a week! CU's in the Big 12 now, as of 2024. Charles Lester ended up committing to Florida State, but that was a exciting commitment party nonetheless. And yesterday, please go ahead and check out what I got linked in my description. I had the honor of going on Jason Watkins from Hall of Fame Media, his channel yesterday, to discuss Big 12 stuff, along with a couple other people from BYU and associated with Kansas State. So please make sure you check that out. Really appreciate it. And then, of course, if you joined me yesterday for my interview with Prime Sports Media, thank you so much. If you haven't, go ahead and click on it, check it out. Wonderful interview. Can't wait to have him on the show again. And hey, I appreciate the extra advice for helping me grow my channel. Can't wait to test some of that stuff out here soon. But anyways, today is a video that I wanted to do on Shedeur Sanders, on the quarterback position. And I did mention this a little bit yesterday in my live stream with Prime Sports Media, but I want to talk about the special temperament that Shedeur Sanders has. I think it's perfect for this team, and it's going to serve him well as he goes on into the NFL here in a couple years or so. Now, I think at Pac-12 Media Day, there were some media members that were a little caught off guard maybe by Shedeur's temperament. I think that that's kind of ridiculous right now because you have had more than enough time to learn about Shedeur Sanders. There was one journalist that asked him about playing at Jacksonville State. It's like, come on, man. Like, do your research. You at least got to know like what school he's coming from. Like that is inexcusable. And I think some people are maybe a little caught off guard by the fact that he has a different temperament than his father. He's a little bit more soft-spoken, but that does not mean that he's lacking any confidence at all. And that's why I got my old school Derrick Rose jersey on. I feel like Shedeur really reminds me of Derrick Rose when it comes to his temperament, because he doesn't exactly say like a ton to the media or anything like that, but he lets his game do the talking for him. He's still extremely confident, and I mean, he's a dog. He'll go out and ball, and that's what you're getting with Shedeur Sanders. And it's really what this team needs, because of course we have the outspoken Showtime motivator, the primetime motivator with Coach Prime, obviously here running everything, and we don't need more of that personality. That's kind of how I feel. You know, it's nice to kind of have a counterbalance where you have the quarterback that, I mean, Shedeur could easily kind of have this larger than life feel and personality to him, I guess, but he's so down to earth. It's why all the guys love him. And you look at a lot of the teams, in my mind, in the NFL with successful quarterbacks and winning championships, a lot of times, even though their quarterbacks are extremely talented, they still behave as just one of the guys. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a little bit more outspoken, I guess, or a little bit more gregarious. That's probably a better word, but you see that he's just another one of the guys. Peyton Manning was like that here in Denver too, where, of course, on the practice field and on the game field, he was the sheriff, but he did a great job of making sure that he came across as one of the guys, like, as much as he could. You know what I'm saying? Brett Favre was another guy like that. A couple other guys that come to mind, Tony Romo or Jimmy Garoppolo. He's another guy that isn't exactly the most talented quarterback. I would argue that Shedeur probably has more arm talent than Jimmy does. But, you know, Jimmy's one of those guys. He's got that leadership style that gravitates everybody towards him, and it's why he's been able to sustain such a long career in the NFL, because guys respect him and he's loved by his teammates. And I think that's one of my favorite and most underrated qualities about Shedeur, is that he is one of those guys. But when the time is right, I mean, he's going to be that leader on the field that the team needs. And I don't want to see people using his temperament or his personality against him, because I feel like that's going to serve him well. You need a quarterback that's even keel, that's not going to be too high or too low ever at all times. These are guys that the rest of the team can look at and depend on for that stability, for that perspective, for that focus. Just moving on, focusing on the next play. So Yeah, kind of reminds me of Derrick Rose in a sense like that, or maybe Kawhi Leonard without the without the awkwardness or without the awkward laugh, right? But it's cool to see him putting out music, and it's great to see how often we see him around his teammates and everything like that. And I think he's the perfect leader for this team. And I mentioned this to Prime Sports Media yesterday, is that maybe Travis and Shiloh are a little bit more similar when it comes to the Showtime aspect of things, but Cormani and Shedeur, I feel like they're a little bit more soft-spoken, but that doesn't mean that they're less confident than those other guys that I just mentioned. They're right up there with being confident dogs that are going to go out and embarrass you on the field. They're going out there to prove a point, not just to win, but to dominate. Coach Prime has talked about that throughout this time. So I want to know what your thoughts are on Shedeur's leadership. I think that that's going to be key in helping us get through this first season. Obviously, with this brand new team coming together in just a month or so, we're playing TCU in Fort Worth, and we're going to need leaders like Shedeur with that even keel temperament and mindset to help this team stay focused, not get too high, too low, not too distracted on the play that happened before, but be able to move on and to focus immediately on the next play ahead. So y'all let me know what you think in the comments. It's been a little while since I've done a video on Shedeur, but obviously he has the arm talent. He has the athleticism to move in the pocket, to scramble, to run. He has the accuracy to really make every throw, short, medium, long. I think he's going to be very successful. You're hoping for something around the numbers that Bo Nix did last year at Oregon. If he can do that, he will break every single season record here at CU if he reaches those thresholds. So y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Again, I really appreciate you all. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Oh, and one last thing. Congratulations to another Denver athlete, Justin Gaethje, on winning the BMF title yesterday. It's great to see CU post some photos of him speaking to the team recently. I love to see that. But Colorado, man, we're becoming title town. We got the Nuggets, we got the Avs last year, and now we got both the Broncos and Colorado Buffaloes trending in the right direction, and we also got a UFC champion. So thank you so much. I'll be back maybe later today or throughout the week. But as always, Sko Buffs.